Hi, this is Chuck Gallagher. My guest is Valda Ford. We've been talking about issues of men's health, specifically prostate health. And Valda, you had asked me a question a bit earlier about my diagnosis at age 47.
Yes.
And I'll never forget getting the call. I was at a speaking engagement in, I think, Minnesota or someplace, and they said, you know, your PSA is a little high. We're going to refer you to a urologist. I don't think I'd ever been to a urologist before.
Well, a urologist is a specialist, and he typically only deals with you if you're having problems urinating, if you're having problems with the prostate because it's swollen and it's keeping you from going. But most people don't see a urologist in an otherwise healthy situation.
Well, I'll never forget. So I go to see this urologist. Seemed like a nice enough guy. He was the one that said, "Okay, son," he said, "your PSA is a little high. I'm going to have to do a digital rectal exam." And he gets that blue glove and slops that thing on. And okay, but Val, I have to tell you, I looked at his fingers and I thought, dude, you do not have skinny piano playing fingers. This may not be too comfortable.
Especially since you had a female doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was much better.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Anyway, you know, he does his thing. I bend over. It's not bad, so we're crystal clear. And I'll never forget, he said, well, you know, I think you're probably fine. He said, prostate is normal size. I'm not feeling anything that's unusual. Now, I don't know what unusual is, other than apparently you can feel
nodules
of some sort. Don't feel anything like that. He said, I really doubt there's a problem, but I'm going to recommend that we probably, just to be on the safe side, do a biopsy.
Well, that's typically what happens. So the equivalent for women who are out there thinking about how to take care of their men, the same thing if they go for a mammogram and a couple things are off, you have a family history, they think, well, something looks odd, let's make sure by doing a biopsy, because we don't want to come back a year later and wish we would have done a biopsy. So most of the time it is just a precaution. It is not necessarily that there's a fear that there's cancer there.
Well, in his case, there was no fear, and we did schedule the biopsy. Now, I had a few questions like, what should I expect and will it hurt? We'll talk about that in our next segment.
Yeah.
So we can offer some real life practical tips on what to do if you're going to have a biopsy. But again, wise choice on his part, because that was part of the process that has saved my life.
Well, it's one of those things, it's better to be safe and do one extra test than wish you would have.
Absolutely. My guest is Valda Ford. We're talking about men's health, especially prostate health. And if you're following in this series, we're going down some deep rabbit holes talking about prostate health and what you might want to consider and how to save your life. So stay tuned.